Hi, welcome to Exploring Anko and Publishing App on Google Play. In this section, we're going to discuss what Anko is, using intents using Anko, making dialogues and toasts and more notification style widgets using Anko, logging using Anko, putting code on the background thread using Anko, and finally publishing our app to Google Play. What is Anko? In this video, we're going to discuss what Anko is. We'll talk about where to get more info on Anko, and we'll finally add Anko to our project. If we open up our browser and we go to this URL here, it's github.com/kotlin/Anko. This is where Anko lives. Now, based on the fact that it's not actually in the Kotlin official website, which is kotlinlang.org, this shows us that Anko is not an official part of the Kotlin programming language. However, it is a library built by the developers of Kotlin. As you can see here, the creator of Anko is the Kotlin team. However, since Kotlin is not only built for Android, they decided to create a library that's used for Android that anybody can import and just go ahead and use. So as you can see from the description of this library, the purpose of Anko is to create a pleasant Android application development. And let's go ahead and read some of the description here. Anko is a Kotlin library which makes Android application development faster and easier, two key features of it. It makes your code clean and easy to read and lets you forget about the rough edges of the Android SDK for Java. So as you'll come to see, a lot of tasks such as creating an intent or showing a toast or showing a snack bar, all of these can get very verbose and there's a lot of boilerplate code involved. And Anko is here to rid us of all of that boilerplate code and make writing Android UI much simpler. Now there's four main components to Anko. There's Anko Commons, which will be the topic of this section. And Anko Commons is a lightweight library full of helpers for intents, dialogues, logging, and so on. So we'll cover intents, dialogues, and logging. And from the Anko coroutines, we'll actually discuss the background threads as well. So Anko also has a lot of layout features, which are a fast and type-safe way to write dynamic Android layouts. So this part here actually lets you write UI code from Kotlin. And as we'll come to see, it's a very simple way, much simpler than doing it in Java. However, I personally still prefer writing the UI layout in XML. Now the Anko SQLite artifact is a query DSL and parser collection for Android SQLite. We're not going to touch this area at all in this section, but you can definitely read on it more on this website here. Now Anko coroutines is a utilities library based on kotlinx.coroutines library, and again you can read more on that here. Now digging into Anko Commons, which is the topic of this section, Anko Commons is a toolbox for Android developers who use Kotlin, of course. The library contains a lot of helpers for Android SDK, including but not limited to intents, dialogues and toasts, logging, resources, and dimensions. We won't touch on resources and dimensions in this section, but again, you can read on it by clicking on this wiki page here. We will go deep into intents, dialogues and toasts, and logging, and you'll see how Anko will make your life so much easier in this section. Now, a little bit about Anko layouts, just to give you a bit of a preview since we won't talk too much about it in this course. Here, this is a piece of Kotlin code, so this would go into your class file. So here we're saying we want a vertical layout, which is essentially a linear layout with orientation being vertical. And then we want to add an edit text called name. And then we want to add a button whose text is say hello. And we want to add an on-click listener that shows a toast that shows hello and the name, the text on the name variable. Now, this is actually what that layout would look like. So you have here a linear layout with an edit text and a button. And obviously this is just an image, so we can't click on it. But if you would, it would show a toast that would say hello, since say hello is the text of the name variable. And as you can see here, it says the code above creates a button inside a linear layout, right? So vertical layout is a linear layout whose orientation is vertical, and it attaches an on-click listener to the button. Moreover, on-click accepts a suspend lambda, which is this style of lambda, So you can write your asynchronous code right inside the listener. We'll skip over Anko SQLite, but again, you can read on it by clicking on the link over here to the wiki page. And finally, in Anko coroutines, this is a very deep topic, so we're just going to stick to using the BG function, and we'll talk about that later on in this section. Now, using Anko, as you can see here, you can use Anko by adding it to your Gradle file, and you simply need to add implementation org.jetbrains.anko :anko the version. So we're going to use here 0.10.4. So let's go back to Android Studio. And I've added it already into the build.gradle file for the application. And as you can see here, I have implementation org.jetbrains.anko anko 0.10.4. Now don't worry about these two artifacts right here. These two let us use the Commons artifact and the design artifact. We'll get to those in later videos.